Transform your emotional struggles into energy for growth and self-mastery. We live in a world where emotional struggles seem to follow us like shadows, persistent, ever-present, and often overwhelming. But what if I told you that these struggles are not here to break you, but to build you? What if the very pain you are trying to avoid holds the secret to your growth, your strength, and your self-mastery? Let's begin with a simple truth: emotions are energy. Every feeling you experience, whether it's sadness, anger, joy, or fear, is a form of energy moving through you. When you resist these emotions, the energy stagnates, creating discomfort and even suffering. But when you learn to work with this energy, to transform it, it becomes a powerful force for your growth. Take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you felt deeply hurt? And what did that moment teach you? Did it push you toward change, self-reflection, or a deeper understanding of yourself? Or did it simply linger, unresolved? The first step in transforming emotional struggles into growth is to embrace them fully. This doesn't mean indulging in pain or wallowing in despair. It means sitting with your feelings, observing them, and allowing them to exist without judgment. You might find this terrifying at first because society has conditioned us to label emotions as good or bad. But emotions are neutral, they are simply messengers. Consider this: if your sadness could speak, what would it say? If your anger could whisper its truth, what would you hear? We often underestimate the power of self-inquiry. Start by asking yourself, why am I feeling this way? What part of me is being triggered? Is it my ego, my insecurities, or my unmet needs? These questions open a gateway to self-awareness. And self-awareness is the foundation of self-mastery. But awareness alone isn't enough. We must act on it. Here's where most of us falter. We understand the pain. We even accept it. But we hesitate to channel it. Why? Because channeling emotional energy requires courage and discipline. It requires you to step into discomfort and see it as a tool rather than a torment. One of the most profound ways to channel your emotional energy is through creative expression. Paint, write, dance, or sing. When you pour your emotions into something creative, you alchemize pain into beauty, chaos into clarity. Have you ever noticed how some of the most beautiful art comes from the most tormented souls? This isn't a coincidence. Pain holds immense creative power. It's raw, it's real, and when expressed, it can inspire not just you but the world around you. But let's dive deeper. What about the energy of anger, fear, or even jealousy? These emotions often feel destructive, don't they? But destruction is not inherently bad. It's a necessary part of creation. Think of a forest fire. It burns down old growth, making space for new life. Similarly, your anger can destroy limiting beliefs. Your fear can dismantle complacency. And your jealousy can highlight desires you've ignored. Pause here and ask yourself, what is my strongest emotional struggle right now? And how can I use it as a catalyst for growth? The key to transformation lies in reframing. Instead of seeing emotional struggles as obstacles, view them as teachers. Anger is not your enemy, it's your ally, showing you where your boundaries lie. Sadness is not your downfall, it's your depth, reminding you of your capacity to feel. Anxiety is not your weakness, it's your alertness, sharpening your awareness of what needs attention. Here's a practice you can try. The next time you feel overwhelmed by an emotion, Stop and breathe. Place your hand on your heart and say, "Thank you for showing up." Then ask the emotion, "What do you need from me?" You might be surprised by the answers that arise. Now, let's talk about energy. Every emotion carries a vibrational frequency. Love and joy resonate at higher frequencies, while fear and anger resonate lower. But here's the catch: lower frequencies aren't inherently bad, they're just denser. Heavier. Think of them as a foundation. You can't build a skyscraper without a strong base. Similarly, you can't reach higher emotional states without addressing the lower ones. When you transform emotional struggles into energy for growth, you elevate your vibration. You shift from being a victim of your circumstances to the creator of your reality. And this shift is where self-mastery begins. But self-mastery is not about control. It's about harmony. It's not about suppressing emotions but dancing with them. Imagine yourself as a conductor of an orchestra. Each emotion is an instrument. Alone, they might sound chaotic. But together, when directed with intention, they create a symphony. So, ask yourself, am I conducting my emotions? Or are they conducting me? As you journey toward self-mastery, remember this: transformation is not a destination. It's a process. You will falter. You will face setbacks. But each stumble is an opportunity to rise stronger. Each tear shed is a lesson in resilience. And now, I leave you with this question: if your greatest emotional struggle could become your greatest strength, how would that change the way you live your life? From pain to power, unleashing the hidden strength within your struggles. Pain is a paradox. It feels like a barrier. Yet it holds the keys to profound transformation. Why does pain feel so consuming? Because it demands your attention. It forces you to confront the parts of yourself that you'd rather ignore. But within that discomfort lies an extraordinary potential, an invitation to turn your struggles into your greatest source of power. Let's begin with a question: when you think of the moments that shaped you the most, were they moments of ease? Or were they born from challenges? Growth rarely comes from comfort. It emerges from the fires of adversity, where you are refined, strengthened, and awakened. So, instead of fearing pain, what if we embraced it as a portal to something greater? To transform pain into power, you must first accept it. Acceptance is not resignation, it's a recognition of what is. Pain only intensifies when we resist it. Think of it like a clenched fist. When you tighten your grip, the tension grows. But when you release, the pressure dissolves. Similarly, when you stop fighting your struggles and begin to flow with them, you open the door to transformation. Ask yourself this: what am I resisting right now? And how is that resistance holding me back? Once you accept pain, the next step is to understand it. Pain is a messenger. It's here to reveal something essential about your inner world. Is your pain pointing to unmet needs? To unresolved trauma? To a longing for change? Listen closely. The insights you gain can guide you toward profound self-awareness. For example, if you feel the ache of loneliness, it might be showing you the importance of connection, not just with others, but with yourself. Understanding pain also means distinguishing between the pain of growth and the pain of harm. Growth pains are temporary discomforts that lead to expansion, like the soreness after exercise. Harmful pain, on the other hand, signals that something needs to change immediately. Can you discern which kind of pain you're experiencing? Here's an exercise. Close your eyes and visualize your pain as a flame. Notice its color, size, and intensity. Now, imagine breathing into it. Does it grow brighter? Or does it begin to soften? This practice allows you to engage with your pain without judgment, creating space for insight and healing. But understanding pain is only part of the journey. To transform it, you must channel it. Pain is raw energy. And energy cannot be destroyed, only redirected. The question is, where will you direct it? Will you let it consume you? Or will you use it to fuel your growth? Think of pain as a river. If left unchecked, it can overflow and cause destruction. But with intention, you can channel that river to nourish a garden, generate power, or carve new pathways. Similarly, when you direct the energy of your struggles toward a meaningful purpose, you unlock incredible potential. Let's take an example. Think of someone who has turned pain into purpose, an artist who channeled heartbreak into a masterpiece, or an entrepreneur who used failure as a stepping stone to success. What about you? What purpose could your pain serve? One powerful way to channel pain is through service. When you use your struggles to help others, you not only heal yourself but also create a ripple effect of growth. Consider this: if your story of overcoming adversity could inspire even one person, would that make the struggle worthwhile? Another way to channel pain is through discipline. Pain often feels chaotic, but discipline brings structure to that chaos. When you commit to daily practices, whether it's meditation, exercise, journaling, or learning, you create a container for transformation. Each small act of discipline becomes a brick in the foundation of your self-mastery. But there's a deeper layer to this transformation. True power lies in transmutation, turning the dense, heavy energy of pain into something light and expansive. This is the essence of alchemy, transforming lead into gold. And in the realm of the spirit, this alchemy begins with forgiveness. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as condoning harm. But true forgiveness is an act of liberation. It's setting yourself free from the chains of resentment and bitterness. Ask yourself, who or what am I still holding on to? And how is it weighing me down? Imagine the energy you could reclaim if you released that burden. Forgiving yourself is equally important. We all make mistakes, face failures, and fall short of our ideals. But self-compassion is the cornerstone of self-mastery. When you forgive yourself, you reclaim the energy you've spent on guilt and shame, redirecting it toward growth. Now, let's explore the final stage of transformation, gratitude. Gratitude might seem counterintuitive in the face of pain, but it's one of the most powerful tools for transmutation. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you've lost to what you've gained. It doesn't erase pain, but it illuminates the lessons it brings. Take a moment to reflect. What has your pain taught you about resilience, empathy, or strength? What hidden blessings has it revealed? When you approach your struggles with gratitude, you begin to see them not as obstacles but as opportunities. And so, we come full circle. Pain, when embraced, understood, and channeled, becomes a source of immense power. It teaches you, shapes you, and ultimately elevates you. But this transformation is not passive, it requires your active participation, your courage, and your commitment to growth. So, I leave you with this: if your pain were a seed, what kind of tree would you want it to grow into? And are you willing to nurture that growth, even through the storms? The art of self-mastery. crafting a life of growth and purpose. Mastering yourself is perhaps the greatest art you will ever practice. It's a lifelong journey that requires intention, discipline, and a willingness to evolve. But what does self-mastery truly mean? It's not about perfection or control over every aspect of your life. It's about understanding yourself so deeply that you become the architect of your reality, the creator of your growth, and the steward of your purpose. Let's begin with a question: what kind of person do you want to become? And what steps are you taking today to move toward that vision? Self-mastery begins with clarity. Without a clear vision of who you are and who you wish to be, you're like a ship adrift at sea, moved by the tides rather than steering toward a destination. Take time to reflect on your core values, your passions, and your purpose. These are the compass points that guide your journey. But clarity alone isn't enough. You must align your actions with your intentions. This alignment is where many people falter because it demands discipline. Discipline is often misunderstood as rigid or punishing. But true discipline is an act of love. It's showing up for yourself every day, even when it's hard, because you believe in the person you are becoming. Ask yourself, what daily habits support my growth? And what habits hinder it? Are you nourishing your body, mind, and spirit? Or are you caught in patterns that drain your energy? Self-mastery requires radical honesty. It asks you to confront your shadows, the parts of yourself that you'd rather ignore or deny. But in those shadows lie the keys to your liberation. Let's explore the practice of shadow work. This is the process of bringing unconscious patterns, fears, and insecurities into the light of awareness. It's not easy. It's like peeling back layers of armor to reveal your most vulnerable self. But vulnerability is not weakness. It's the birthplace of authenticity and courage. Imagine this: what if your fears could become your allies? What if your insecurities were the stepping stones to your greatest strengths? To transform your shadows, you must first accept them. Look at your fears and say, I see you. I honor you. And I release the power you hold over me. This simple act of acknowledgement can dissolve the chains that bind you. Now, let's shift our focus to the art of presence. Self-mastery is not just about achieving future goals, it's about fully inhabiting the present moment. The present is where life happens. It's where growth unfolds. But how often are you truly present? How often are you caught in the past or projecting into the future? Presence is a practice. It's the art of listening deeply, to yourself, to others, and to the world around you. Try this, the next time you feel overwhelmed. Pause. Take a deep breath and anchor yourself in the now. Notice the sensations in your body, the rhythm of your breath, the sounds around you. This simple act of mindfulness can bring you back to your center. But self-mastery goes beyond personal growth. It extends into the way you interact with the world. As you grow, you naturally begin to inspire and uplift others. This is the essence of purpose, using your gifts and experiences to make a positive impact. Purpose is not something you find, it's something you create. It's born from the intersection of your passions, your skills, and the needs of the world. Ask yourself, how can I use my growth to serve others? What unique contribution can I make to the world? These questions are not easy to answer, but they are essential. Purpose gives meaning to your struggles. It transforms your journey into a legacy. And yet, even with purpose, self-mastery requires balance. It's easy to become consumed by ambition or external goals and lose sight of what truly matters. Balance is the art of harmonizing your inner and outer worlds. It's knowing when to push forward and when to rest. When to strive and when to surrender. Here's a practical exercise for balance. At the end of each day, reflect on 3 things. First, what did I do well today? Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Second, where can I improve? Use this as an opportunity for growth, not self-criticism. And third, what am I grateful for? Gratitude shifts your perspective and keeps you grounded in the present. Finally, self-mastery is about embracing impermanence. Change is the only constant in life. And resistance to change creates suffering. But when you flow with change, you open yourself to endless possibilities. Think of a river. It doesn't fight the rocks in its path, it flows around them, shaping the landscape over time. Be like the river. I leave you with this final question. If you could live your life as an expression of your highest self, free from fear, doubt, and limitation, what would that life look like? And what step can you take today to begin that journey? Remember, the path to self-mastery is not linear. It's a spiral, bringing you back to the same lessons at deeper levels. But with each turn of the spiral, you grow stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose. You are the creator of your destiny, the artist of your life. So, paint boldly, love deeply, and grow endlessly.